Today I'm at Bailey Aviation and I'm going to be showing you how to assemble and do the pre-flight checks on this, the Bailey Supalite chassis. I'm Jimmy DeVille and in this video we're going to see how to turn this pile of parts into the new Bailey Supalite Paramotor fitted with the record-breaking V5S 4-stroke engine. Okay, first job, take the engine unit and put it on the box at the end like that. You're then going to need 4 legs or 4 spar pieces because in this model the spars and the legs are all identical, which is really good for spare parts. 3 of them, however, do have extra bits added, but these can literally be added to any of them. 2 of them have a rubber piece on, and this one has a pull start connector. But as I say, these are all exactly the same, so it's probably worth having a couple of spares of these in your spare parts. Okay, take 4 without anything on them. You each have a button at the end, and they slot nice and neatly into the base here, making sure they click into place and locate so they don't rotate or can't be pulled out. Two like that, and then exactly the same, 2 on the rear. And that's the 4 legs fitted. Now for the base piece. Okay, on the base piece, you can see it's got this bit protruding in the middle, and that goes on the same side as the propeller facing uppermost. Now this is a bit of a jiggle. First thing you need to do is get them all lined up. This can be a bit fiddly, but that's the base frame fitted, and it is only a push fit. Once that's done, stand the unit up, being really careful because it is so lightweight, it can very easily topple over, so make sure it's on a stable bit of ground. Okay, now we can fit the rest of the spars. I like to start with the ones with the rubber piece attached, and they go at the sort of 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock position. Make sure they click in place. The next one I like to fit is the pull start one, which goes in the top dead centre. Make sure it clicks in place. And then the last 2, which are just plain ones, go in at the 2 o'clock, 1:30, I suppose it would be. Like that. Okay, that's the spars and legs all fitted. Next, it's the outer cage. There are 6 outer cage pieces. 5 of them are absolutely identical. 1 of them is different. So yet again, it's great for your spares. I'm going to start with the different one, which the only difference is it's got this hole in it here, and it is the bottom piece. That clips on like that. We then work with the other 5 pieces on either side, meeting at the top in the middle. First of all, push it on to the end of the carbon, and then simply apply a little bit of pressure or flex, and they pop together like that. Okay, that's the outer cage assembled. Next, it's the fuel tank. To fit the fuel tank, obviously, we're going to need the fuel tank and also this little pile of connectors here. Right, first job is to put the fuel tank into the legs. Now, we recommend you only remove the fuel tank when you are doing a long distance travel and you're packing the whole thing up in a box. For normal use, we suggest keeping this whole section together because quite frankly, that's small enough and you can put that in the back of your car. Right. Fuel tank squeezes between the legs like that, and I can just adjust the height of it so it lines up with these connectors hanging down. Just make sure the P-clip is this side of the tank strap there, and then wind that all the way up. Nice and firm, remembering to push that down. Once the fuel tank is installed, make sure you connect up the two pipes using the dry brake connectors. There is only one way round they can go. Next job is connecting the pull start. When you're connecting the pull start, you're going to turn the engine over, so make sure it's switched off using the master switch. And on Bailey machines, that's always pushed to the rear for the off position. Right, once it's off, slowly pull up start cable and then connect it on the hanger here. Next job is the net, and this is something that people often tell us they struggle with. So here's how it's done. Firstly, find the centre of the net, which is marked by these two red markers, and make sure the knots are facing away from you towards the machine in this orientation. Then line the two red markers up with the central spar and hook the cord on to the first two hooks, like that and that, making sure everything stays lined up with the markers. We're then going to miss out a couple of hooks and go to the next, yet again fitting the cord into the hook, and then back on the other side. Miss out a couple, go to the next hook, making sure everything stays central the whole time you do this. Miss out a couple, go to the next hook. Once that's done, make sure the throttle is to the front and head round the back. We're going to take both the cord hoops and then evenly apply pressure and hook them on the central bobbin. Okay, that's them on. And then we go back round to this side and start evenly putting on the cord on the rest of the hooks, working evenly on both sides. Once the outer cord's finished, we're now going to look at the inner cord. Now all we're going to do on the inner cord for now is thread these two loops on the inner cord through the chassis so they're hanging down by the front legs. And for now we're going to leave them there while we fit the harness. Okay, the harness, remove the R-pins. That's the top pins in the harness fitted. Now it's time to fit the arms. Now before fitting the arms, make sure you remove the nut, the safety pin and the small nylon washer, leaving the large nylon washer on. Then make sure none of the straps are twisted. Slide your arm on, replace the small nylon washer, then the nut, making sure it's done up all the way, and then replace the safety clip. Next is fit that arm, and then we can finally sort out this inner cord and connect the ground handling straps. We can now connect the ground handling strap, which is this strap on the harness, and the inner cord strap from the netting earlier. They're both going over the same bobbin right here. Lean the machine slightly away from yourself, slot the ground handling strap over the bobbin like that, and then it's going to be held in place by the inner cord bungee, like that. The last thing before fitting the propeller is to make sure the pull start is on this side. It's going to come through this hole in the net here. Rotate it all round, threading through the pull start. Rotate the pulley round at the top there and just make sure it's run like that, and then give it a couple of pulls just to make sure everything is groovy. That's it fitted up. Now, last job, fit the propeller. on this propeller, make sure the two pieces are slotted together, the holes are lined up, and the decals or the logos are to the rear. It then slots over the 4 pins. Obviously make sure that this rubber washer is in place. Next, we're going to fit the retaining plate with a second rubber washer over the pegs, like that, and then hold that in place with the bolt with a hole through its head. Now, if when it's done up firmly, this hole does not line up with one of these slots, we can simply remove the plate, turn it around with one hole, and put it back on, and that gives us another set of positions, and hopefully in one of those two positions, the slots and the holes are going to line up correctly. Okay, in this position done up firmly, they don't line up, so I simply take it off again. Move the retaining plate around one. Bolt back in. Do it up firmly again. Now the hole lines up with the slot in the retaining plate, and I can put in the R-clip, meaning it can't undo itself. There is one last thing left to do. Go flying. I tell you what, this thing is super light. Don't break a leg.